Well, for the last few weeks, Karl Wiggers has been bringing us stories about the farm-to-school movement that is happening across the country. Farm-to-school focuses on food, procurement, school gardens, and education.
In Louisiana, more than 530 schools participate in the farm-to-school program, according to the USDA. This week, Karl takes us to Richland Parish, where all 11 schools in the district are benefiting from a fresh approach to school gardens.
On the campus of Rayville High School, these greenhouses look like perfectly ordinary functioning greenhouses. But it was not long ago that these greenhouses were in shambles.
In the summer of 2015, we started working on these greenhouses that were sitting here empty. And we built them and put vegetables in them to give to our schools.
That's Rory Gresham. He's the greenhouse manager of Richland Parish Produce. Now, this unique setup is the result of a lot of teamwork between Rory, his wife Beverly, and Gracie Hosey, the Director of Food Services for Richland Parish Schools.
We wanted something that we could use in the cafeteria and include it as part of Farm to School, because I grew up on a farm too. You can't beat farm produce, especially when it's fresh out of a garden.
A school garden to grow lettuce and tomatoes is great, but Gracie was thinking much bigger than that.
We were kind of unique because we wanted to do it hydroponically.
We're in a 20 by 50 greenhouse. This is 1,800 head of lettuce. We produce 300 head a week. It's on a 6-week rotation through here. This lettuce on the outside edge is less than a week old. This is coming up 6. It's ready to harvest. So we do 300 head a week out of here. You couldn't do this in a field.
Technically, you could. It would just take a lot more land, more labor, and more money. Conventional farming is also a struggle because of when the school needs all of this produce.
We can't find farmers who have a growing season past when we start to school. The tomatoes here, we're able to supply our schools every week with fresh tomatoes.
It's a tremendous amount of food if you say we're doing 300 head of lettuce a week out of a 20 by 50. These are 30-foot runs, and we're producing 300 head a week. That's a lot of lettuce.
By putting these fresh vegetables in the lunchrooms of Richland Parish schools, Hosey is able to bring the farm fresh foods to nearly 3,000 students and faculty every day.
We have efficiently brought, I think, farm to school to our environment here at Rayville.
It's something I believe in. I think this is the healthiest vegetables we can give to schools. I've seen our kids increase their amount of salads they're eating.
My only regret is that I was limited on the amount of space that I had to start up with, because if I could cover the whole campus in greenhouses, I would.
Each week, these greenhouses yield more lettuce and tomatoes than they use in their schools. So what happens to the surplus? Well, that gets sold to wholesalers like Robertson Produce or restaurants like Stonehouse Eats that we featured a couple weeks ago right here on the show. They also have customers come and buy directly from them there in the greenhouse, and this actually happened while I was there. To learn more about how Richland Parish schools are growing their own food, head over to our website at twilatv.org. And Kristen, I've got to say, they sent me home with 3 heads of lettuce and probably 3 or 4 pounds of tomatoes, and they were some of the best produce I've had in a little while.
You said the tomatoes were pretty unbeatable.
Oh my gosh, they grow cherry tomatoes for their salads because they want to grow stuff they use in their salads at school, and we were sitting there eating them straight off the vine in the greenhouse. It was one of those tasty stories to go shoot, that's for sure.
Are they seeing a lot more kids eating off of the salad bar because of this?
They have. They told me in the first week that they produced their own salads, they made I think 18 salads at Rayville High School, 18 salads in the first week, and now they're making around 75 a day.
Wow. Well, that's an awesome story. You know I love gardening stories, so great story, Karl Wiggers.